Today I'm going to be doing something a little different. I'm going to be ranking all 4 of Robert Eggers' movies. And you might have actually seen, I actually did this video before in the form of a short. But I kept thinking about it, and I realized that I really just wanted to say a lot more about a lot of these movies. Especially, just the more I think about a lot of them. And I realized, hey, it's my YouTube channel. I can do what I want. And like I said, I just have more to say. And coming in 4th place, we have The Witch. Now, this is a movie that I still like. I still think that this movie is good, and it definitely has that eerie. This is a very creepy movie. I'd argue it's his scariest. Even it's not really particularly scary, and it is still gorgeous. His cinematography is just it only gets better. It just proves that even though that this is in last place, it just proves, I think, of how strong of a filmmaker Robert Eggers is. And honestly, no matter what, I think just from now, and especially after Nosferatu and how much I love that, I mean, I'm really just interested in anything that he's going to be doing going forward. And yeah, what drags this down for me is really, like I said, this movie is still good, but just the plot is not as interesting. I will say Anya Taylor-Joy gives such a fantastic performance. You can see why she's one of the biggest names in Hollywood today, at least of the younger actresses and actors. But yeah, she is still great in this movie, and this movie is still good. And I think that if you are a hardcore horror fan, I could see how this might even be your favorite because, like I said, I think it's the scariest of his films. But like I said, it's good. It is still gorgeous. It is still good. It's just his other movies are much better in my opinion. But in this movie, I don't really see myself, I do want to rewatch it, but when I first watched it, I'm yeah, that was pretty good. I really like that, but it wasn't wow. But it's still great. And coming in 3rd place, we have The Northman. And this is a movie I've seen, I've only seen the movie the once, and I do want to rewatch this movie. But I couldn't help, when I watched it, there were a lot of times where I paused it and I'm this is going on for a little too long. It's good. It is great, even. I can see why this could be, I could also see, with all of these movies, I can see why any of them could be your number 1 pick for the best Robert Eggers movie. But with this movie, I just didn't find the plot as compelling. And then I remember about a couple months, maybe it was sometime last year, I rewatched The Lion King for the first time in so long, and wait, this is just The Northman. And yeah, it is. I mean, it's Hamlet, and this is actually supposedly the original story that Shakespeare got inspiration from to write Hamlet, which makes sense. I mean, talk about Vikings even way older than Shakespeare. And yeah, so I will say this movie is still great. It is still gorgeous, and oh my god, the final shot, man, it's just gorgeous. When they're going into Valhalla, it truly is a gorgeous film. Like I said, I need to rewatch it. I want to rewatch it again. But to me, I just didn't find, similar to The Witch, I didn't find the characters as compelling as I did here. The story is good, but I will say a lot of it was a lot of it felt like action scene and then really slow dialogue. It just felt a little too slow for what it was. Like I said, it's still good, but I just wanted the characters to be more compelling and the plot to be more compelling, which I found with the next two. And that's why it's number 3. That's why it's number 3. Even though, like I said, it's still good. All these movies are at least good, and that's what makes him such a great filmmaker. Coming in 2nd place, we have The Lighthouse, and this is a movie that when I first watched it, I almost convinced myself to like it, but deep down I was I did not like it. And then I rewatched it about, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 months ago, and I was wow. I kind of went in knowing what to expect more and understanding that this is a slow burn movie. And that's what you have to understand about this movie. And like I said, about all these movies, I can understand why this would be somebody else's number 1 pick. I think it's great. It is, like all of his movies, it's gorgeous. And oh my God, Willem Dafoe, I mean, Robert Pattinson. There's only 2 actors in this entire film, and the fact that none of them even I don't even think any of them got even a nomination, let alone, I think Willem Dafoe should have honestly probably won. He is so good in this movie, as is Robert Pattinson, but Willem Dafoe, if you've seen the movie, you know the scene I'm talking about with Willem Dafoe when he is just yelling and he is going on a rant. It's so good. He doesn't even blink for 2 minutes. Like I said, he truly is one of the best actors working today. And like I said, Robert Pattinson performance, fantastic. In this movie's atmosphere, I said the H.P. Lovecraft horror of it, and of course when it adds like there and like the mermaid, like it really does put into like what mermaids, the original terrifying mythology of them is, of them seducing these, whether lighthouse keepers or boat or like captains, boat captains, and seducing them until eventually drowning them. It's just such a unique and weird movie. And even after watching it the second time, like I was like, I don't even really get it, but I liked it. Like I said, it's really, this is another movie. I just need to, I really want to just rewatch all his films again. This was another really great one. And coming in at number one, we have Nosferatu. And this, in my opinion, like you could say this is recency bias, but I've seen it twice. And it was definitely my favorite film of last year. I thought every frame of it was just gorgeous. And although, like, in many ways, like, yes, this movie is very simplistic. A lot of his movies are quite simple when you think about a lot of the plot. But what makes this movie so great is, yes, this is just this twisted love story with Ellen, like, being seduced by Nosferatu. And it's just, that's what, like, this movie, like, none of his movies I don't think are super scary, even though they're all creepy. But what makes this movie just creepy is just how personal it feels. Like, when we're seeing Thomas slowly lose his own wife, but not physically, but just emotionally. It's this sick, twisted love story. That, like, at its core, that is what it is. It's a twisted romance as a horror movie with a vampire. And I mean, like, this is another one of these movies, like I say about all of them, like, I don't even think this movie got any Oscar nominations, and I'm like, how? What? This movie is fantastic. I have seen some people say it was a little overhyped, which I don't really know what they're talking. Okay, I think maybe the disappointment could be, it is, like I said, the plot, I'd say for the most part, is simple, but it's just the characters are just so intriguing. The world is gorgeous. I just want to keep, like, you can pause any frame of this movie and it's just like, wow, that is fantastic. Like I said, like, I've done a full review on this movie. Like, check it out on my YouTube channel, of course. But yeah, this is another movie, like, I think that this is his best film. But like I said, all these movies are great. But I think what makes this movie so great for me is just the characters and atmosphere. Like, yes, there are times where the plot, like, I don't even really actually have any many critiques, but I say where the plot maybe isn't as interesting as it could be, as maybe it was like, half an hour ago, or like maybe just this plot beat, but it's just the characters. I love these characters. Like I said, all these performances, but it's Lily Rose Depp, Nicholas Hoult, Willem Dafoe, Ralph Innocence, and of course Bill Skarsgård, and also Emma Corrin. I mean, I saw some people hating on Aaron Taylor Johnson. I thought he was pretty good here. I don't really know what the hate was. I thought it was pretty good. But like I said, from the performances to the atmosphere to the story, like I said, I think that this is, I'm just rambling at this point, but yeah, this is definitely my favorite Robert Eggers film. And tell me in the comments, leave your ranking of all 4 Robert Eggers films, ranked from the worst to the best, and tell me why. I really want to know. I'll read all the comments, and yeah, leave a like if you enjoyed this ranking, and subscribe for more rankings and reviews like this.